I think that the key, like I alluded to earlier, is just setting up those expectations, putting the tools in place, and really what we try to emphasize on all of our projects is sitting down and giving the client and the team members an idea of what is expected to them, what is expected of them in the upcoming week, and then really giving them enough guidelines over the next. We try and make sure that we're always looking out 2 to 3 weeks in advance to make sure everyone knows what's upcoming and allows everyone to adjust their schedules around it. That becomes really important when we get around summer vacations, holidays, and any, for example, like if a company, if one of our clients knows they have an audit upcoming, if we're looking 2 to 3 weeks out in advance, we can start to adjust the schedule so that no one is surprised by our need for them to participate in an activity or our need for them to produce a deliverable or produce in conjunction with us a deliverable. So it's really setting those tools up and adhering to them and trying to look out anywhere 2 to 3 weeks in advance so that we all know what is expected and we all know that everyone's going to be able to participate. How important is communication in project governance? I would say communication is probably the #1 key to project governance. It really starts at the beginning, and it's that first meeting with the client to sit down and establish what the communication tools are going to be, but how we're going to communicate and who's responsible for the actions after we have set up those tools. So it's setting up that weekly status call with the client. It's setting up that biweekly call with the steering committee. And then finally the executive committee would traditionally on a project would meet monthly, and it's really just constant communication, letting them know where we are, where we're going, what are some of our challenges, and what's the final outcome. If you follow those simple guidelines, it really makes communications a lot more simple, a lot more clear, and really as we've seen with projects, when communications break down, that's usually the first step towards a project starting to fall behind and introducing issues into the project. How do you foster a culture of accountability? I think it's really pretty simple, and it is at the beginning setting up what roles and responsibilities are, what are expectations, and laying out a clear project plan for what will take place throughout the life of the project. And then it's a matter of following the tools and the guidelines that you've set in place to discuss on a weekly basis what's expected of everyone, and addressing challenges when they come up, and not letting them pass more than 1 week throughout a project. So it's really saying, do we have the expectations in place? And if we're starting to not meet those expectations, addressing them immediately before they become a problem.